So guys, what's going on? It's July 1st. You know what that means? Fireworks. Happy 4th of July, Independence Day, the best day of the year, one of the best days of the year. Anyway, so New York City, they have these, illegal fireworks, call the cops. Here I am in one of the boroughs, and these signs are everywhere. They have them on the side of the road. The cop cars have them. This van in front of me has this. And what I find interesting about fireworks, well, first let me tell you about 4th of July, one of the best holidays, one of my favorite holidays. When I was younger, I used to take a truck, and I used to head down to North Carolina, and I used to pick a truckload up of fireworks. I used to bring it back up here to New York. And now that I'm older and I don't have as much time, I go to Pennsylvania and I pick up a trunk load of fireworks. Now, the difference in price between North Carolina and Pennsylvania is actually pretty significant. But again, this is when you're buying cases towards individual pieces. But anyway, I head towards Pennsylvania now. I got 1 or 2 spots that I hit in PA where I pick up my fireworks. I think I still have stuff left over from last year, and that's what I do. Now, in New York City, there is so much going on that you would think illegal fireworks are the last thing you have to worry about. I mean, you could just read the stories or look up statistics of what's happening in New York, and this is the last thing you want to worry about is people lighting off fireworks. Now, the other thing I'm seeing is people saying don't celebrate the 4th of July, and there's this whole thing about what's going to be taught in school about the 4th of July and all these theories being presented to teach your children. Listen to me. The school will not teach your kids anything. You have to teach your kids. You got to teach your kids about the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, Susan B. Anthony, George Washington, Christopher Columbus, Abraham Lincoln, the Bill of Rights, the Constitution. All of that is up to you. If you think the school's going to teach it and teach it in the correct way, they're not. At least not anymore, they aren't. They don't want to teach about things that they don't like. If you look at some of these teachers' unions and what's going on, especially in major cities, they don't like things like George Washington. They don't like Susan B. Anthony. They don't like Christopher Columbus. They don't like to talk about what the Civil War was about. They don't want to talk about the American Revolutionary War. For whatever reason, whether it's political or it's an ideologue, you got to be responsible for teaching your kids. I think that today it's even easier to teach your kids. You could go on YouTube and type in George Washington for kids. Tell me about George Washington, and you'll get a video that explains, who George Washington was, what he was. Same thing with Abraham Lincoln, the Civil War, Christopher Columbus, Susan B. Anthony, the American flag. You probably should watch those videos before you let your kids watch them just to make sure they're okay. But today you basically can do that. And you probably could find kid-friendly books, and you should teach your kids about history, about American history. They should know about these people and what has happened, the true history of the country. It's very important. Especially the American Revolutionary War, the Civil War, the Bill of Rights. Every kid should know the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. I've noticed that when I do videos about cardboard arcade machines that are made out of cardboard, a Pac-Man machine that's made out of cardboard, it gets like 1,000 views. But when I do a video about maybe like money or finance, I had a house that I'm flipping, that gets like 10 views. So people like what they like, but then they'll complain to the school board that they don't like a certain theory that's being taught or just whatever, some nonsense. So you got to be on top of yourself. You got to be on top of your kids. 4th of July is super important. Independence Day is super important. And that's really it. I'm not going to get too much deep into it because it doesn't pay. And if you don't like what they're teaching your kids in school or what they're going to teach your kids in school, then pull them out. Tell the school, look, when you teach about this theory, I don't want my kids in the classroom. If you're going to skew history or you're going to spin history a certain way to fit a theory, take my kid out of the classroom. I'll teach my kids about the revolution. I'll teach my kids about American history my way. And, make yourself known to the school board. Contact the superintendent. Get other parents with you on board. Stand out in front of the school and protest. Hold signs and do a march. We'll start protesting and marching in front of the school every morning and see what happens. Anyway, that's it. Like, subscribe, and comment. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's staying safe. God bless you guys. Happy 4th of July, and I will talk to you guys later.